Hey guys, welcome back to Wealth Creation Ideas. This is Mo, and today we're gonna talk about Reddit. Company came out with its earnings yesterday. Stock didn't perform that well post earnings, so in this video we'll talk about what happened, why the stock fell down, and why am I bullish on the stock. And end of the day, I'll give you my valuation of the stock and where I think the stock is headed in next 12 months. So let's get started. But before we get in, I request you guys to like, comment, share, and subscribe the channel so that I continue to produce more videos like this for you. So the stock was traded at $50.69 day after the earnings. So clearly the earnings didn't go very well for the company. The stock dropped 6.7% throughout the day. To understand what happened, we really have to dig down into the revenue number for the company, right? And if you look at the actuals, the company actually did really well. They were up 54% on the total revenue year over year. They demonstrated a strong growth in the US as well as on the international sector. The thing that spooked the market out was their forward guidance. So they came out with a forward guidance of 290 to 310 million for third quarter. And to be honest, the CEO was asked a couple of different questions on the guidance for Q4, as I think the analysts believe that this is a little bit on the lower end, and they were expecting a bit of the higher sequential growth in the revenue quarter over quarter. In my opinion, I think the company is trying to be a little bit more conservative in providing the third quarter guidance. Given I do believe that this revenue guidance is more of a one quarter short term trajectory, and as it stands for next 12 months, the company is expected to have a more robust revenue growth. And let's get into the reasons why I believe the company is set for a much higher revenue growth in the next year, right? So there are four key factors that I'm going to talk to you guys about. One is the international expansion, right? So far, there are two things that are going on with Reddit. Number one, that it's broadly English based platform. So as far as the translation is concerned, as far as expansion in the other countries are concerned, they haven't really nailed it yet. But they understand that this is a top priority and that is one of their biggest opportunities out there. There is one thing that stood out to me in the earnings call, and I do want to share it with you guys, is that company did talk about their machine translation, which is now available in French. And as a result, they saw a very good growth in the France. And that company went to an extent where they said that the France was one of our fastest growing countries, surpassing the growth in US. That tells you something. That tells you that as the company gets expansion into other languages, into other countries across the world, the growth can be substantial. And I don't think that that growth is fully factored into the numbers and valuation so far. So that's number one. Number two, we all talked. The company announced that they have, Google and OpenAI partnership. I think they signed it a couple of quarters back. Full impact of which I don't think has been fully included in the numbers yet. But as time passes, I think the growth from both the partnership with Google and OpenAI will start to showing up in the numbers. I'll give you a simple example. You go on Google, you ask a question, it's highly likely that in top four or five options that you will have for that question, you will see Reddit as one of the options, right? And we know Google's total presence in the search is they have monopoly, right? And I think they're gonna get a lot of subscriber as a result of these two partnerships, but that is something which I don't think is fully well included in the valuation yet, right? And then they are thinking about putting some sort of a monetization model, to for helping the developers to create and earn money on the platform. So I think that is positive. That will help retention, and it will definitely help in creating more content. And the third thing, which really surprised me, was how well company is doing on expenses, right? And even CEO said that the revenue growth versus the growth in the expenses. Revenue grew by 54% year over year, whereas their adjusted cost grew slightly less than 11%. So I think the pace of their revenue growth to the pace in your expense-based growth, there is a wide gap there, and that's going to help company a lot as the revenue increases over next year or so. Now, with that said, so these are the factors I think is going to drive Reddit's growth in the coming year. Now, let's get into how do I feel about the valuation of the company. The company is currently traded at $50.69. That equates to around $8.2 billion of total market capitalization. My assessment is that, if I look at a forward looking revenue for the company in next 12 months, I'm expecting it to be in the neighborhood of 1.3, 1.4 billion. With the type of growth that Reddit has in the top line, I will expect to give it a 10 times multiple. That gives the company total valuation of $14 billion. At $14 billion with 165 to 170 millions outstanding shares, the share price I'm expecting to be around 82, $83, right? And I think that is a reasonable 12-month target for the company. Currently at $50, with a target of 83, I think there is a significant upside to the stock. Now, that being said, I do understand that in the short term, there may be a volatility with the broader tech sector and this company. But I do believe that in next year or so, $83 is not a very far-fetched target. Again, let me know your thoughts on the valuation or in the growth potential of the company in the comments, and do let me know, if you want to hear about any other stock ticker or you want to get more information on the stock. Now, that being said, don't forget to like, subscribe the channel so that I can keep producing more videos for you. Goodbye till the next video.